President Obama planning to go, quote, as far as he can under the law, end quote, with executive action on immigration before the end of the year, according to White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough in a meeting with Congressional Hispanic Caucus members. Joining us now, Howard University professor of public policy, Ron Hira, also the author of the book Outsourcing America. Ron, great to have you here. The president delaying action, and he thinks he won't be held accountable for the promise that he will issue that fiat of amnesty after the election. What do you think?
Well, certainly there's the politics side of things, but also there's the policy side, and at least on the high-skill immigration side of things, everything that's been discussed or floated or leaked is really pretty much bad for the American worker.
In terms of STEM, that is, the foreign workers who are being brought into this country, most of them legally, and overstays are a problem within that. But the reality is you believe that there are plenty of science, technology, engineering workers, mathematics, workers that are American citizens who are being pushed into other fields because they're being crowded out by lower-priced foreign workers. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the easiest way to look at supply and demand and to see if we're at equilibrium would be looking at wages. So the argument from the industry is that there's a shortage of these workers. If there really was a shortage of supply, we would see wages going through the roof. Instead, wages have been flat for 15 years now. And what you're doing is not only crowding out the existing STEM workers, especially some of the older ones, but also you're discouraging U.S. students from going into these fields. And these fields are really important stepping stones to the middle class.
And that is being choked off, in your view, in favor of lower-priced foreign workers, legal and illegal.
Yeah, so most of the rhetoric is about the best and brightest. In reality, most of the workers that they're bringing in, foreign workers they're bringing in, have no more than ordinary skills and are paid cheaper wages. And so this is really about bringing in cheaper labor. And you're again crowding out the existing workforce, but also the pipeline of students who should be going into these fields.
What is driving this? Is it simply a way to reduce the cost of labor and expand profit margins on the part of corporate America and businesses in this country at the expense of American workers?
Yeah, absolutely. The bottom line is the bottom line in this case. They're after really cheaper wages. Increasing the supply is to their advantage, and if anybody had any doubts about this, you could just look at the wage fixing scandal that's been going on, the lawsuit that's going on in Silicon Valley, and it's the who's who. You know, it's the late Steve Jobs writing really incredible emails to Google CEO Eric Schmidt, and then agreeing basically to squeeze out American workers and not allow them to move jobs and have their wages go up. So it's absolutely about the bottom line in this case.
So what you're really saying is class warfare is being practiced in this country, just not by the president and the Democrats. The first front in that war is corporate America, technology companies, Silicon Valley, against middle-class American workers. Is that right?
Yeah, it's against the middle class, and it's against those who are aspiring upward mobility into the middle class from the working class. Traditionally, engineering and information technology have been fields, occupations, and professions where you've got the working class who work their way up and study and go into those fields. So you're cutting off that really important piece of solving the income inequality problem.
Upward mobility, otherwise known as the American dream.
That's
Professor,
right.
Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Come back soon.
Thank you very much.